And I think golf for me is a great sport that unifies people. It's a networking sport. It's a sport of discipline. It's a sport of courage as well. So for me, I thought, let me do something different to commemorate June 16. The Kerry Golf Day as well is something that's different. It's never been done before. Where you acknowledge and you recognize the role that caddies play in the sport of golf. Yeah. These guys carry bags for golfers. They show them the lines. They help them to play better, become better golfers. So what better way to acknowledge them than have them come here and play and pay them to play?
I mean, for the fact that they're getting something out of it. There isn't any prize money or any participant gets something from it, or only the winners?
So every golfer that's playing here is going to get paid, but on top of that there will be prizes, sport prizes that will be given. We're also going to award the top 3 performing golfers on the day prizes. I've actually donated my first golf bag and a kit that I started when I started playing golf. It's going to become an annual golf day, but in between we'll have some mentorship sessions for these caddies. Gauteng Province has also promised that there will be some training so that these guys don't just limit themselves to being caddies but also tour guides in and around the township. Well, for me it's about making sure that we keep them off the streets, keep them off drugs and substance abuse. Sport is a way of making sure that they stay away from the streets and they focus on what's important. For us, we think through sport we can grow and get better stars. These guys could be the next Tiger Woods. You never know. They must never think of themselves as just caddies, but beyond that, and that's the kind of thinking we want around this event.
Okay, the last one, what's your message to them?
My message to them is that when I was a youth, I wish I had these opportunities, but now I'm using what I didn't have to give to them. And they must grab these opportunities with all their hands and run with it.
Yes, firstly, we are continuing to celebrate the June month, and we are focusing on young people, and we're highlighting the importance and role of young people today and tomorrow, because the young people are the ones that have to find the opportunities, take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. So today in particular, I'm excited because we're seeing caddies being brought together. People who are always somewhere on the side, they're just always carrying the bags and following the golfer. But here today, TT's program is relating to the empowerment of the caddies themselves. And I'm happy because the caddies are also being exposed to the golfers who have come here to play. And the big program that I think I'm going to be somehow find a way of connecting is that of tourism, because I think that tourism is one of the areas that can help us get back to normal by exposing people traveling from one place to the other. The fact that the caddies are going to be empowered with knowledge as to what they have to be sharing, the information they're supposed to be sharing with the golfers with regard to history of Soweto, number one, history of June 16, but history of the club itself and history of other activities that happen in Soweto. I learned they were talking about assisting them to even form their own companies, because that's the economy. The economy is there. So this day is very significant for me because the empowerment of caddies also must be taken. For me, it's about government partnering with the private sector, government partnering with NPOs and NGOs, because you can see here it's NYDA, it's Gauteng Tourism, but also importantly is a group called Act Now, who are a group of young people who are doing a lot of work around fighting gender-based violence. They are also, I've told them that I want to call them a movement for behavioral change, because if we are to fight gender-based violence and violence in South Africa in general, we need to assist our people in the behavior and the change in that, because you can't solve problems by being violent. But also highlighting the importance of gender-based violence, the message we're giving to the caddies, that many of them are here, they need to understand and appreciate that that struggle is a struggle for everybody, including themselves as caddies. They're coming from communities, they're coming from homes. They must not close their ears and their eyes when they can see that there's gender-based violence happening.
It starts here in Gauteng, so initiatives like this are not surprising. That's the tenacity and the energy and the buzz and the creativity and entrepreneurial spirit that drives the people of this province. We are developing local content for global impact. So the Caddies Golf Day, it's quite an important intervention caddies are not just caddies, they are an integral part of the sport. As Gauteng Tourism, we're also looking forward to work with the caddies, work with the Soweto Country Club in launching another fest where we train these caddies on tour guide, on what is around them. So imagine if you walk with the caddies for 5 hours playing, they also share tips about where to visit, what is the significance of the Kliptown square right here next to this golf course, that you can spend wonderful night at the Soweto hotel, just literally 500 meters from here. So that's why we are involved in this. Soweto Country Club is the only golf course found in a township in South Africa. Therefore, it helps us to deal with the social cohesion issues. We'll also be working on a program to build in other golf courses, Horton, in the Val, and interchange. Have the caddies here in Soweto going to Horton, the caddies in Horton coming down here. So in Gauteng, we're looking at sports as an integral part of our offering, and golf in GP and golf in particular is our key offering.
Kulele makaya mna yabona. So bengazi noyazi golf. But what I do know is from what you have taken, you must give back. And it's great to see not only golf thriving in the townships, but the township economy thriving or looking or beckoning to do so because of golf. But the most special thing about this is, you know, as Tato has said many a times, turning something that was a negative. And we understand that what happened on June 16 had nothing to do with the golf day or Titimba. It had to do with the grievances of the people. It spoke about what the socio-economic factors of the townships are. It spoke about the pessimistic and the nature of people and how they feel about their accordance right now. You know, it was an epistemic non-epistemic ambivalence on everything that is currently happening. So I completely understand where they came from. But to have taken that and for the community, Tato, to give back to the caddies.
What it means for us is empowerment of the township. I come from this township, and what I truly appreciate about this program today is the fact that TT went out there and made sure that caddies, I mean, who would have thought that we would have a match of caddies? And when I was listening to Baba from Gauteng, Baba insisted that we need to get caddies into business, meaning their empowerment then grows them, and in future we'd also like to see a tournament arranged for caddies or a tournament prepared by caddies, or would also like to see a golf match that is owned by one of the caddies that are playing here today, and we would also like to see them participating in the actual sport of golf and one day becoming the Tiger Woods of tomorrow, if you understand what I mean. But for me as well, we are an organization that stands against gender-based violence and femicide, and we are here to support the movement. We are here to support anything that is empowering the youth of South Africa and empowering our townships, because we need to grow and build our economy. But for me, most importantly, is to stand against gender-based violence and femicide. We need to create the awareness. We need to share as much as possible with the entire nation to say we are men that are standing against GBV.
We're the champion in Soweto. Shocked kuwe lokho.
Kusho ukuthi kahle isinikeza i-opportunity sama youth ase Soweto Country Club sesisonke, not mina individually, sesisonke. So manje isinikeza amathuba amaningi ukuthi nakusasa ungaphuma ama-professional out of thina, not umuntu oyi-one. Youth day opportunity enhle kakhulu ngoba manje yaqala ukwenzeka kahle eSoweto Country Club first time. So nathi siyajabulela, and hope ukuthi na next year is over more than this one, because this is the first time. I want to play overseas, yes, I want to be a professional.
So what is your message to the young ones, or those who today are watching you and say this is the champion from Soweto?
They need to work hard. On this game you have to work hard, and then you must respect umuntu asiphathe kahle makafuna ukuphumelela, ngoba the way kungakhona yazi obviously elokishini ugcina sokubhenya ukuphuza amatshwala ugcina ungasayi phambili. For the youth out there, ukuthi mele baphume abaningi beze lana bazojoyina. It's free ukujoyina mawuphuma from a location. They don't need imali kuwe when yazela, and then bazokunikeza ama lesson kancane uzogcina sofunda kusasa bese uyaphumelela ufane nabanye.